Hey guys, it's Mandak coming at you with another video. So first off, I'm still alive. It's been about a month since I've done a video. I was traveling for vacation during the week of 4th of July. Happy really late 4th of July, I guess, to everybody. And last week I was traveling to work. I went to Georgia for the first time, so that was really cool. But yeah, I'm back. This is my second week here at my apartment in the month of July. Work has just been really hectic. A lot of stuff has happened at work that I won't go into here, but a lot of stuff has changed for me at work. Not for me, for the worse at all for me. Probably actually for the better. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with everything. I'm just trying to wrap my head around all that and get back to work and doing stuff. I'm very busy at work, but always find time to get comics and buy stuff. So I have a haul here I'm going to go through today, and we'll get into it. A lot of stuff here I found today. I went to a Books A Million up near me, up in Stroudsburg, PA. Found some stuff there, and some other stuff's from online, Amazon and stock trades. And there's one book here from my local Books A Million, which I got for that penny a page promotion that they were doing a few weeks ago. For anyone who wasn't familiar, I didn't know about this until they told me. Books A Million was running this penny a page program one weekend. You could get one book in the store for a penny a page. So if the book was 300 pages, $3 for the book. And it had to have page numbers, which I thought was really stupid because all of the books that you can find in the store are online on their website, and all of them have page counts on the website. So I don't know why they needed a page count to confirm that that's how many pages were in the book. Anyway, I was able to find one with page count. It was something that I've been looking at for a while and couldn't find a good price online, so I finally decided to jump on it here. Picked it up, and yeah, we'll go through it. And there's another thing in here that's not really comic book, well, it is comic book related, but it's not an actual comic, and I'll show it at the end of the video. Also, there's another book in here that isn't necessarily like a comic book, but it's a book that I thought I'd pick up. Cool. I can't even talk. Well, I guess that's what happens when you go away for a month. You just don't know how to talk on a YouTube video. Anyway, we'll get into it. First book here, start with the little trades and work my way down, is America Chavez. Chavez? I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry. But this is the first trade of her series from, I don't know, is this 2016? Anyway, I'm really excited. I don't really know much about her other than I know what her name is. 2017 this came out. But I think she's a Latina, sorry. Hopefully no one rails me in the comments. But yeah, I'm excited to read this. Don't really know much about her. You can see on the back here, this collects America 1 through 6. I'm not sure how many trades of these there are out there. And on the back here, you have Kate Bishop and her. I think that's Kate. Yeah, it is. So, really excited. Oh, shoot, dropped the book. The art looks really nice. I'm trying to get standardized on how I show the books, show the front cover, show the back cover, and then show some art. So you can see here, it seems like she's teaming up with Storm, Mohawk Storm, which is always the best Storm. So there's that. Oh, also, if I didn't mention before, I'm also filming on my phone this time because my computer is being really awful and the quality was probably really bad. This should be a whole hell of a lot better. I'm filming on my iPhone 10. I think it's a 10R. I'm not really sure. It's a work phone. Anyway, but yeah, so we're filming on this, so hopefully you'll see a better quality. See my books in the back. Probably can actually tell what they are now instead of barely making out what they are. Anyway, we'll keep going on. Next book we have here is a trade again, New Avengers by Al Ewing, Volume 2. So this is the 2015 New Avengers series. This collects 7 through 11 of that series. So on the front here, you look like you have Squirrel Girl. You have, I don't know who that is. Yeah, I probably should know, but I don't. On the back here, Got this for $4 at a Books A Million. After the discount, it's $5 off 25. It came out to like more like $3, I guess, maybe. I'm not sure. But you know, just collecting more Avengers stuff. This is after Hickman's run, I believe. So cool to have that. Yeah, because I think that's the one that launched after Secret Wars. So next book here, the art order, perfect, is Mockingbird by Chelsea King. Yeah. I believe this won an Eisner Award a few years ago. Could be wrong. But, you know, big fan of Mockingbird. You know, I've read some of the appearances of her in the West Coast Avengers. I still got to get around to reading the West Coast Avengers stuff. I have all of it collected pretty much. Although it isn't Marvel Premier Classic, I'm still thinking about downgrading to the Epic collections because they'll look way nicer on the shelf. And they might also fill in holes that I have. Anyway, tangent aside, got the first trade here called I Can't Explain. This collects volumes, or Mockingbird Volume 1, numbers 1 through 5. I believe this is Volume 1. I don't think she's had a solo series before. And Mockingbird 50th Anniversary number 1. I think that's what it is. So, yeah, really excited to read this. Again, man, the art in this is awesome. I'm not sure who's... I don't think I recognize this art. I mean, it looks somewhat familiar, but I'm not sure if I read a book with it in it before. But really cool. You know, I've seen this around for a while, but like that's the best price I've been able to find it for, so I picked it up. Next book we have here is Mockingbird Volume 2, My Feminist Agenda, and this collects Mockingbird 6 through 8. Plus an adventure from That's a Matter of Life and Death for Mockingbird from New Avengers numbers 13 through 14. So this seems like a small trade that's shoved with a bunch of filler. I think I actually own the 2010 series of New Avengers. That's the second volume of that, of the New Avengers stuff. I believe, I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, excited to read this. You know, again, obviously, you know, Mockingbird made her MCU debut in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., if you want to call it, I guess, an MCU. It is kind of directly tied into the MCU, but and I think they kind of retired her character, unless I'm really behind on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. I really need to catch up on it, but yeah, Mockingbird's a cool character. I read the Hawkeye Avenging Archer collection, which has a bunch of miniseries and stuff wrapped in together, and it's obviously named after Hawkeye, but there's a lot of Bobby Morse stuff in there, Mockingbird stuff. Most of the adventures are with the two of them together. So if you're looking, you know, if you read that stuff, you're looking for more Mockingbird stuff, definitely check out the Hawkeye Avenging Archer collection. It has a lot of stuff in there. All right, moving on here. We get to She-Hulk by Mariko Tamaki. I don't know if I said that wrong. So I've read Dan Slott's run. I've read Charles Soule's run on She-Hulk. I sold my Charles Soule She-Hulk trades. I know there's a complete collection out. I might get it if I see it dip down for a cheap price, because I do like that run. I might want to reread it at some point. But this is another run of She-Hulk. You know, I'm excited to read it. You know, I'm a fan of the character. Dan Slott's run is awesome. Anyone who's looking to get into She-Hulk, definitely check that stuff out. It's so good. I love it so much. And Charles Soule run is also really, really good too. There's a good story with her and Captain America that I really liked. It's one of those things where it's not like a lot of superhero fighting type of stuff, but it's a lot of, like, you know, just very story driven you know, issues. It's not so much like relying on action to keep you entertained. So that's what I liked about that run. But yeah, so I'm excited to read this. I haven't heard anything about this, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. So we'll give it a shot and we'll go from there. You can see the back here. I don't know if I did this before or did this already. That's kind of cool. So I think I'm going to enjoy it. We'll see. Next book. I actually have one book that's in the mail right now. It's probably at my parents' house because I ordered it to go there for some reason. But the book that's on order that's coming, that might be in the next haul video, is Thunderbolts Classic Volume 2. I got Volume 1 back during Free Comic Book Day of this year, so I'm trying to get the Thunderbolt stuff, the classic stuff written by Kurt Busiek. So yeah, so I gotta collect the 3 classic collections, and I think there's 2 more after that. It's like Hawkeye. They're called Hawkeye Net Thunderbolts. So I gotta collect those 2. But in the meantime, huge introduction aside, I picked up the Thunderbolts collection by Jim Zub. And this collects Thunderbolts, the 2016 series, numbers 1 through 6. So you can see here there's some classic, you got some classic looking, stuff on the front. The same, I think almost the exact same logo as from the original Thunderbolts book. This one store near me has like the classic collections, but they're like really expensive. And they also have like a really older version of a trade, which I'm not sure how many that collects, but yeah. So I think a lot of people like this because it kind of mixes up the team. I mean, again, I really like this. This art looks really great. I like it a lot. But obviously the most notable addition to this team is the Winter Soldier. So I'm excited to see what that means for this team. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. And it's volume 1, so if I don't like it, I can just not get the next one. We'll see. This one I got for, the next book I got here I got for $1.30, which I thought, actually no, $1.44, I'm sorry. I got it because I'm like, you know what, I don't really, it's very low stakes. I only paid $1 for it. If I like it, I like it. I think I will though, because it's kind of like classic version of the characters. And it's also DC, so more DC stuff to get me exposed to. And that is John Ostrander's Suicide Squad Volume 1, Trial by Fire. Another thing that kind of piqued my interest on this book as well is that the art is drawn by Luke McDonnell, which he was the artist during the majority of Denny O'Neil's run on Iron Man. And I was a huge fan of the way that he drew Iron Man in that run. Obviously it was different from Bob Layton and John Romita Jr.'s art. I think most notably is that he kind of went back to the eye slits being just black. Because I know back in Romita and Michelini's days, you could actually see Iron Man's eyes through the visors. So that was always an artist's choice on whether or not to show that or not. But you can see here the back, that's definitely some good Luke McDonnell. I mean, I would say that this art probably looks better than his art from Iron Man. I mean, yeah, I'm really excited. Really excited to read this. This collects, I think it collects the first 8 issues, I want to say. It says in the front here. Oh, I'm sorry, 8 issues, yep. So Suicide Squad 1 through 8. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this. It's classic stuff, kind of looks like mid-80s to me, early to mid-80s. So we'll see how it goes. Written by John Ostrander. I think I have another, I forget what it was. I just picked up a book by John Ostrander that was DC stuff. I forget what it was. Mike can probably tell me later. My friend Mike, he probably knows. Anyway, so that's that book. Like I said, $1.44. If I don't like it, then I just don't get the next volume. But I think it's it's something that I saw. I'm like, you know what, let me pick this up. Because I was actually looking at it the other day on the bargain bin area, and I'm like, you know what, should I pick this up? I'm not sure. So I'll give it a shot, and we'll go from there. Next book here is a little bit thicker, and it's a Mod Podge of stuff. Some stuff I've already read in here, but this is the only real way I can collect it. So, story with this one. I'll show it first. Dakota North, Designed for Dying collection. So, backstory with this. during my vacation, I pretty much read the entirety of Brubaker's run on Daredevil, and I loved it. Highly recommend checking it out. Definitely read Bendis first before you read Brubaker stuff. But, you know, obviously during Bendis' run, you had Dakota North, who is this character from the 70s and 80s, popping up as a PI for Matt Murdock. So you also had Jessica Jones there for a little bit, but then she kind of just faded off into the distance. That was more so after. I mean, Bendis kept her around because obviously Bendis created her, so he wanted her in his book. But Dakota North kind of came to the forefront in Brubaker's run, and for some reasons that I won't explain, she becomes a pretty vital character towards the end there. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my god. Nothing like sneezing on air, am I right? So I was interested with the character, and I'm like, is there anything out there that I can collect that has Dakota North stuff in it? And this collection came up. So I'll tell you what this collects. It collects Dakota North numbers 1 through 5, Web of Spider-Man number 37, Power Pack number 46, as well as Daredevil numbers 107 to 110, which I already read. That's Brubaker's stuff. And material from Marvel Superheroes number 3, which I don't believe I've read. So you can see here on the back. I think that's a cover from one of the Daredevil books by Brubaker. So yeah, some of this collection I'll probably just end up skipping because, like I said, I've already read it. No need to read it again. But yeah, you can kind of see. You know, she's kind of drawn a little bit like a mix between Mary Jane and like Jessica Jones. At least in Brubaker's run, Lark kind of draws her like that. Excuse me. But yeah, I'm excited. You know, she's like, you know, she was in the Brubaker's run. She was a former model and turned PI. So there's a little bit of backstory there. So I'm not sure if this solo series will address it, but I'm excited to read it. You know, I want to see what goes on. Might provide some more backstory for me that I didn't know about. So, and now I'm freaking sniffling. So that's great. Ugh. But yeah, so Dakota North is a cool character, and I'm glad I picked this up. It was only like $6 or $7, wasn't that expensive. All right, getting down to the pile here. This is the penny a page book that I got, the one that's coming up next. I'm really excited. You know, I was looking online. It was floating around for a kind of cheapish price, but I found it for dirt cheap. The price I paid for this was $3.80. So that was pretty nuts for what I got. And that is The Flash, The Silver Age, Volume 1. So I've actually read, I think, the first 1 or 2 issues in this. Actually, it might have been like, I might have read like the first 3 or so issues in this series, in this book. Because I was on a Crisis Cast podcast with my friends over at the Students of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I have them as one of my favorited channels, so check them out when you get a chance. I'm also featured on some of their videos, so cross promotion. Anyway, so yeah, so this collects, so DC came out with these really nice, so they started doing these Silver Age, Bronze Age, Golden Age omnibus, and with those omnibus, they released these paperbacks that basically collect half of those omnibus. So 2 of these volumes pretty much equals an omnibus. So I picked this up, you know, because I like to go the trade paperback route. Easier to find, cheaper usually, and they stay in print longer. So this collects Showcase numbers 4, 8, 13, and 14, and The Flash numbers 105 to 116. So this is Barry Allen Flash. There is some Jay Garrick stuff in here. Once you get to the, you know, Crisis, you know, finding out there's another Earth, which I thought, you know, pretty revolutionary for the time. You know, this is the, I'm assuming like early 60s, late 50s, early 60s. So, you know, really cool. Flash is, you know, growing on me. I wouldn't say he's like my favorite DC character. I think Batman's still that right now for me. But Flash is getting up there. He has some pretty good stories, and I'm excited. And this has a little bit of a ding on the end. That little sucks. That sucks a little bit, but whatever. So, can't complain for a $3.80. Can't complain for a $3.80 book, right? Cover price on that, by the way, is $25. So, they're not like super expensive, but you know, it is what it is. All right, next book here I bought on Amazon. Picked it up because I realized that I didn't have it, and I don't know why I stopped buying them, because I think this just came out, so I think it was still really expensive online, and I wasn't going to pay a lot of money for it because I knew it would go down in price after a while. And that is, I will shut up and show it, that is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 5 hardcover by Brian Michael Bendis. So I've read the first 4, fell in love with them. I love this run. You know, a lot of cool stuff. Reads very fast. I mean, obviously that's usually found with a lot of Bendis's, you know, stuff. It's really easy to read. I usually fly through a lot of his stuff the fastest. But this is his last hardcover for the Guardians of the Galaxy. And then Jerry Duggan, I think that's how his name is, he takes over and does the all different Guardians after the Secret Wars happens, I believe. So, actually, he might do it. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. Anyway, so finally got this. So now I have all of Bendis' run on Guardians, an oversized hardcover. I read the first 4, so I'm probably going to read this at some point real quick and finish it up. But yeah, you know, a lot of stuff happens in this run, and I know some people, you know, don't like it or whatever, but I think it's a good complimentary thing to do, to show story to tell with the Guardians, you know, based on the old stuff. So really cool. Yeah. So getting down to the pile here, the biggest book I have here, and it's a book that I showed on the podcast on Students of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I never actually went over in a haul video because I went back and checked, and I'm like, did I go over that? Not sure. If I did go over it again in a separate video, I apologize. I don't think I did because I went back and checked, and I didn't see me going over it. And that is, oh shit, I ripped the plastic on the back. That sucks. Oh well. That is the SpiderMan Omnibus, Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 4. So this one I bought when it came out on release. The first volume got reprinted, and that's now on Amazon or on IST. Probably gonna pick that up next week. So then all I have to hunt down for is the Volume 3, which came out I think like 2 years ago with the release of Spider-Man Homecoming. So I gotta go grab that at some point when it gets reprinted, because right now I think it's out of print. But yeah, so this collects Amazing Spider-Man numbers 105 to 142, Giant Size Superheroes numbers 1, I guess not numbers, number 1, and Marvel Superheroes number 14. And on the back here you can see the cover roll, spine, typical classics Marvel Omnibus. Cover is the traditional cover. I didn't go with the DM variant because I don't want to pay an extra like $25 for that. That's kind of stupid for a cover on a dust jacket, no less. But yeah, the biggest thing with this book obviously is you have the death of Gwen Stacy in here at 121, and the Goblin's Last Stand at issue 122. So this will be my first time reading it in oversized colored format. I read that whole series of issues back in my Essentials collection. I've read all 11 of the Amazing Spider-Man Essential volumes. Sold those off for a lot of money, a lot more money than I was thinking of getting for them. But yeah, so I'm really excited to read that. Eventually, at some point, once I collect all 4 of these omnibus, I'm definitely going to go back and reread all this stuff. This is just some classic Spider-Man stuff that I think everyone who's looking to get into Spider-Man should read at some point. I'm not saying you should start with it, because it is a little bit slow at some point. Sometimes, you know, it is 60s and 70s comic book writing. But it's definitely something you should check out if you're a Spider-Man fan. And my God, my nose is leaking. You probably can't see it on TV on the screen. Anyway, last book here we got is a cool book that I found, you know, related to comics obviously, but not necessarily a comic book itself, and that is How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. So I found this at a Five Below, and as you can see here, it's kind of like, I don't know, these books are really, look at this. I don't know if it's because of the humidity of like my apartment or whatever, but like it's already starting to like go out like that. But I'm really excited to read this. You know, I by no stretch of the imagination am an artist. You know, I like to do a little bit of drawing and doodling and stuff. I gotta get back into that because I've done a lot of stuff. Check out my art spotlight on this video. I gotta do some more of those too. I have a bunch of them I can do. It's all a matter of when I want to do them. But yeah, this is a cool book. You can see on the back here, SpiderMan is an artist. So yeah, I just got this for shits and giggles. It's written by Stan Lee and John Buscema. So I'm really excited to read this. You know, obviously on YouTube there's a whole 12-part video that you can watch that goes over this whole thing. It's the old VHS tape they made of this book. So, you know, it's very old-fashioned. You know, Stanley's like, you can stop the tape right now and do this and go back and rewind. It's great. And I'm like, yeah, but now we have YouTube. We can just pause it. So, yeah, so I picked that up. That was pretty cool. $5. It's like, whatever. And then so the last thing I'm going to show here before I close out the video is a pop figure that I have. And that is Rescue. So I picked this up at Books A Million, paid an extra like $3 for it, whatever. But yeah, excited to have this now. I saw it got released a few weeks ago, so I wanted to pick it up. And yeah, I really enjoyed seeing this armor in the in Endgame. Obviously they couldn't release this pop until the movie came out because they didn't want to spoil the reveal. But yeah, this is gonna look really nice, you know, next to all my other Iron Man pops. You know, I'm not a huge pop fan. I don't collect a lot of them. But if it's of Iron Man, you know, related to Iron Man or anything like that, I'm gonna probably pick it up. Usually that or Spider-Man. Those are my two that I usually pick stuff up for. But yeah, this is pretty sick. Excited. Now all we need is a pop figure of Iron Man holding the gauntlet that he snaps his finger at the end, and then we'll be all good. So yeah, so I'm gonna go take this out of the box, put it up there now, and go from there. But yeah, so that is my haul, guys. You know, a little bit on the smaller end, I guess, today, but it is what it is. So hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and I'll catch you later.